Kimani Ichungwa.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I hear what the leader of the minority whip is saying. And it is true, Honorable Speaker, that if you have been here long enough, like the Honorable Junet Mohammed, and many others, including Robert Mbui, who was a member of this select committee, you would know then that impeachment of a cabinet secretary is not a matter that you vote and make a decision based on emotions. It's also not a matter that you decide based on whether you like somebody or you dislike them, or whether they answer your calls or reply to your texts. It is a matter that is based on the law. Honorable Speaker, the preliminary objections we had from the Honorable Otiende Amolo and the leader of minority speaks volumes to the issues that I was speaking to here last week. That one, we sought to impeach a cabinet secretary without duly considering the provisions of Article 152 of our Constitution, and especially so Article 152(7), and our standing orders from Standing Order 64 to 68. Honorable Speaker, you remember me advising the Honorable, the sponsor of the motion, the Honorable Amboka, that if I were him, I would have been patient to allow conclusion, a logical conclusion of the inquiry by a committee of this House under the leadership of Honorable Mutunga, the Committee on Agriculture, that I would have been patient to allow investigative agencies to investigate and see if there's culpability on either the cabinet secretary or any other public officer before proposing an impeachment motion. Honorable Speaker, this report, as you said, it is good for academics, and it is important that all the 349 members of this House read that report so that they understand that impeaching a cabinet secretary can never be anchored on our feelings, our emotions, and whether we like somebody or dislike them. That we must ensure any time you want to impeach a cabinet secretary or a public official, it is based on what is provided for in law. Was there a particularity in the allegations in that motion? I submitted, the Honorable Speaker, last week, that the motion was laden with generalities and newspaper articles, and therefore would never have passed the test of time if you subjected it to the provisions of the Constitution, our own standing orders, and indeed precedents that has been set by courts of law. And I pointed out the famous Wambora cases, because Governor Wambora, Honorable Speaker, you remember, is one of the public officers that were impeached more than any other public officer. And therefore, I want to urge members, Honorable Speaker, that this becomes a lesson to learn for us as a House. If we propose motions to impeach cabinet secretaries for the sake of it, we will make this House extremely impotent. We will become impotent because we are acting at the whim of the moment. We are not patient to get substantive issues that can truly impeach a cabinet secretary. I look forward to a day, Honorable Speaker, that under the provision of our 2010 Constitution, we will offer meaningful oversight over cabinet secretaries, that we shall take our work seriously as a House, and we make sure, Honorable Speaker, that if we do an inquiry like we were doing, Honorable Speaker, we base all our deliberations on facts and not emotions, Honorable Speaker. I hope, Honorable Speaker, that this report, when we read, we will be able to internalize the reasons as to why those who say that all the allegations are not substantiated, the reasons and the reasoning behind it. Honorable Speaker, I know there are those who have expressed their minority opinion. And Honorable Speaker, I had a brief look at that report, and it is all based again on emotions and what they want to say are perceptions. Honorable Speaker, the drafters of our Constitution, including the Honorable Otiende Amolo, who drafted this Constitution, should have then considered putting either under our values the question of perceptions, our national values, or probably part of the reasons under Article 152(7) as 152 of our Constitution as to why you would impeach a cabinet secretary, then you should have included perceptions. But our laws, our Constitution, our standing orders do not offer us an opportunity to impeach a cabinet secretary or any other public officer on the basis of perceptions. You may perceive somebody as dislikable, Honorable Speaker. You may perceive somebody as arrogant or as corrupt, but that is not provided for in the Constitution and in our laws. We are the lawmakers. We are the first people who should be the first defenders. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was saying, Honorable Speaker, we swear by the Bible and the Holy Quran when we take oath of office to defend the Constitution and the laws of this Republic, Honorable Speaker. We must always be at the forefront to defend the Constitution and the laws of our country, Honorable Speaker. So that tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, if the Honorable Junet Mohammed gets the opportunity to serve as a cabinet secretary, I will not seek to impeach him on the basis of my perceptions that are not objective at all. That I will seek to impeach the Honorable Junet on the basis of his performance and that which is provided for under our Constitution. Honorable Speaker, it is easy to speak to the gallery, to speak to the media, Honorable Speaker, because the media are saying this and that. I have seen lawyers saying that members of parliament, if the 11, somebody tweeted that the 11 members times 5 million shillings is the basis on which this motion will be decided, Honorable Speaker. And it's a very senior counsel in this country, Honorable Speaker. It is shameful and unfortunate, Honorable Speaker, that a lawyer, an advocate of the High Court, a senior counsel, would be speaking to issues, Honorable Speaker, that any Kenyan who was watching the deliberations of this committee under the full glare of the public or of the media, Honorable Speaker, there was nothing that could be substantiated. The Honorable Wamboka could not substantiate anything, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, as I commend the Honorable Wamboka for his fortitude and temerity even to be able to push through a motion he knew was dead on arrival, since he could not substantiate, was based on newspaper cuttings and all the other rumors you hear in town, Honorable Speaker. At least he had the fortitude to push it on to the end. Honorable Wamboka, please next time I would urge you, let us stick to what is provided for by our standing orders, our own laws, and the Constitution of the Republic. If we do that, Honorable Speaker, this House and indeed Parliament will have teeth to bite. Otherwise, if we abuse the provisions of our Constitution to just collect signatures and sign signatures and push, Honorable Speaker, in an attempt maybe to blackmail or intimidate cabinet secretaries, we shall be rendering this House impotent, and that will be the end of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. I pray to God and urge members that next time we want to impeach a cabinet secretary, let it be based on the law, the Constitution.
Order, Majority Leader. Yes, Ocheng, what's the point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I've been listening here today.
What's the point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the Majority Leader to keep on referring to Honorable Wamboka as if he made a mistake to bring this particular motion? Because all through his speech, that was insinuating that it was a mistake for Honorable Wamboka bring this motion, Mr. Speaker. Is it in order that he does that?
First, I didn't understand it that way. And secondly, Honorable Wamboka made no mistake in exercising his right. Yes. And that's what Ichungwa said. All he said is that exercise much more care and bring more tangible evidence. That's what I heard him say. Yes. Order, honorable members. I promised five. It is done. I'll now call the next order. The matter is over. Call the next order. Your motion was spent.